Hello, hello, hello. It's Christine Trainor talking to you from New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada. And it is about, what time is it right now? 4:21 in the PM here in the west coast of BC. Day 364 of my everyday journey. December 20th. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome to year 2 of my everyday journey. So I hope everybody's having a lovely day. One more day and it'll be this Christmas. One more day it's going to be winter. And 5 more days it'll be Christmas. How does time fly this past year since I've done my everyday journeys, right? And I just finished watching a beautiful movie because I was having like a movie day. Got up really late and I watched, I think you guys remember it, Out of Africa with Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. What an amazing, beautiful movie. I loved it. Mind you, the music is so beautiful, it makes me cry all the time. But it's just, I think the beauty of Africa, the people in Africa, and how she wrote the book talking about her time in Africa when she had that coffee farm, this wonderful writer. And I really loved it. I fell in love with the movie, and I always like watching Meryl Streep and Robert Redford. I mean, I think that was 1986. And it still rings true to me. I mean, that was like 33 years ago, and it's still an awesome movie that I truly love. And it reminded me again about life, about struggles, about everything that we do in our life, you know, especially when she ended up having to go back to Denmark, where she was from, because things didn't quite work out after a lot of years of hard struggle. But she remembers the beauty of being in Africa and the country and the people and how she loved being there. And so it's like life in general, right? You go through all these struggles and frustrations and you work hard and you almost give up, but you don't until you really have to. But it just shows me something of people that, especially women, you know, even in those days in the turn of the century, you know, how they struggled to be independent women and to be who they want to be as people. And to this day, even in the 21st century, we're still struggling to be independent, to be ourselves, to move forward, to be more successful, to be strong and healthy. It seems to be that way every part of every, I guess you'd say every decade of this beautiful world of ours, you know. That's what I was looking, because that was back in the turn of the century. That was basically over 100 years ago to, I think it was turn of the century this movie was made, yeah. And I mean, yeah, it was made like turn of the century, basically probably in the teens, I guess you say. So it was like over 100 years ago. Until this day, we still have struggles, women do. We still have to fight for ourselves. We still have to be independent. We still have to work hard. We still have to do so much to either maintain a good business or to become more successful. And that's what's interesting. Even that movie, it was made basically made like 100 years ago, what it was like. And I was just thinking about that, you know, and how wonderful Meryl Streep was, and how wonderful Robert Redford was, and he was basically a free soul in this movie, his character. And to this day, so many people are free souls. They want to be who they want to be. They don't want to be tied down. Like, I was married once, guys, okay? I have a son who's 36 from that marriage, and of course my ex-husband's living in a home. His health is not good, and I live with somebody. I'm not married, but I consider my marriage to the man I live with, Mr. Masud, as you probably just saw a few minutes ago. We live together. We're partners in life, and that's how it is. I mean, we may not have the best life right now because we're going through our own issues, which is rightly so, because we've been together over 22 years, so we're going to have a lot of problems as time goes by. But we're both free to be who we want to be. We didn't choose to get married. We didn't choose to have a paper say we are married. We choose to be married in our own way as a loving couple living together. We don't need a paper saying you are now Mr. and Mrs. To us, we are like a Mr. and Mrs. Kind of a Mr. and Mrs. who should be in better shape, but that's because it's growing pains when you've been together over 20 years. Now we're going to have to go up for the hump of the next decade. We're in the process of the next decade of our relationship, right, which is going to be 22. I think this year, 2020, will be a 23rd year together, which is basically we're in our next decade of our years together. So it's going to be a hard fight, but I'm going to fight for it because he's a loving man who's done so much for me, regardless if he gets angry, because he sees in me a hard-working person, but he also sees me struggling. So it's kind of nice to have him always in my life in all aspects, right? And we will get through it no matter what. So he has a lot of positive nature to him automatically, as I had to work hard to stay positive and strong. So he's kind of a good part to my relationship. So believe it or not, this movie, I've seen it a few times out of Africa, but the scenery is beautiful, especially when they gives her a ride on the airplane over the plains of the beautiful part of Africa. Oh, I just loved it. And the music, the one particular beautiful theme music, always makes me cry because it's so beautiful. So I wanted to really share this about what I enjoyed on this everyday journey. It was this beautiful movie I was watching, even though I was working online. I was still taking a few minutes to enjoy every part of the movie and then still do some work and still end up doing this everyday journey. I know it's late, guys, because I was enjoying my movie today. I woke up late. Okay, I was a little ill. My physical issues are really kind of making me feel ill. So I've had to take it slow and easy. And during this Christmas season, it's tired me out already. And I haven't done a whole lot of shopping yet. This weekend I'm doing a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm not doing a whole lot because we cannot afford too much. And I already had gifts from last year saved up for this year. So I've already got 3 gifts already ready. So that's good. I don't have much left to do. What I do is just basically simple. What I do is just light decorations over my window like I told yesterday. I'm not going to do much because I got a cat and she jumps at everything. But I want to do a little bit on my windows and then I'm going to tidy up and that's it. I'm done. And when Christmas Day comes, that's when I'll decorate my table a little bit with a tablecloth. That's it. I'm not going to do much because my cat's going to jump up and play anyway. So it's going to be a free table until Christmas Eve and then it'll be decorated more and then I'll clear it off really well. All I want to do is just put a tablecloth on this table, get my window tree on top done, and maybe put a nice little tableclothy thing on my... I'm not doing a whole lot. I think I'll have to wait till my cat gets close to when she's over 2, when she gets used to all this crazy Christmas stuff, because she's young. She loves the tree. So I had to put my... As you see, I still have just my light decoration on my cabinet because I don't want my tree dropped anymore. I have a nice old tree I've had for a long time. It's simple. Hey. That's all part of having an animal, guys, but I digress. I should have talked about... I'm continuing to talk about this beautiful movie that had a moral to the story, so to speak. That even in the turn of the century, women still had it hard. But it was... A lot of us were very liberal people. They were, even in that turn of the century, I mean, it really wasn't well known, but people were liberal. They spent time together. They were enjoying being together. They were friends. They were lovers. They were companions. And sometimes they didn't get married. Sometimes they just had a wonderful time together. The beauty of Africa, they showed how it was in the turn of the century with Africa and how things were for women, mostly for women. It's basically a movie about a woman in the turn of the century of Africa and how it was for her, but how she was so independent, a free thinking woman, and how strong she was, and how we could all be the same way to this day in this 21st century, guys. Strong women, maintaining a sense of balance, sticking with each other and carrying on and becoming more successful when we share each other's thoughts and ideas instead of being against each other, especially when there's so much. As I want to plug my online marketing journey, so many companies up there, so many different businesses, so many women doing all kinds of stuff. I am so impressed by all the lovely women I've met through these past 16 months and the courage they have and the intelligence they have and their drive they have to move forward in their online businesses, because this is where it's at, guys, working online, especially for a woman. I can see, I've met so many beautiful women and strong women, and they really are consistent and persistent. It's just amazing. So from watching that movie that's basically made around the turn of the century to now in the 21st century, there's a lot of stuff women still have to fight for. We're still moving forward at a wonderful pace for women. And now as we enter year 2020, another decade, it's going to be interesting, guys. So that was what I wanted to chat with today on this everyday journey. I don't know if you'll really enjoy it, but I wanted to talk about it. And it's almost 10 minutes into this, so give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this little chat that I wanted to share with you today on my everyday journey. Day 364, that is. And make today a great day in your everyday journey, because only you can make it a great day. You, especially if you're a woman. Move forward. Be strong. Everyone, move forward. Be strong. Strive for true success that you want to do in your life. We all can do it, especially in this crazy world. Internet marketing, social media marketing, or social media in general. Okay, guys. See you tomorrow on day 365 of my everyday journey. Bye.